The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Go. 180! I'm here all day.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Johnson. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
57. Mike, 57. Hey! Mike, 7. Second down, defense, let's go. Mike's 57.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
57 to Mike.
On play action, it's Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
A first down carry here for Johnson. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 44, Wentz. That's caught by Jackson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 30.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. Got one.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. And it's 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. All day, every day. Hey, seam 6.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
Here we go. Louis! All day, baby, all day. 57. Mike.
On play action, Wentz. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And the hole quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4 for the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Bullock's kick is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, it's Wilson. It's caught, Rocket. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
And that's good for a Seahawks. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Alert. Danny. Check 26. Out. Joker. Zebra.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson flushed out right. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 5.
3-0 after one on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. They're on the march, but facing a third down here.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox, the former Mississippi State Bulldog, ringing the cowbell there on the sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Fletcher Cox able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Wilson now. From the gun, he'll throw. He's got Lockett. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 29-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
They'll toss it out to Carson. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. He's got the first down inside the 10. And finally down at the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Here's Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Myers connects on the PAT. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Running from the gun, Johnson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
120.
Hey, here we go.
Now Wentz on third down. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Well, it's third down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
Mark's 56. You got nothing today. You got nothing.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
Throwing is Wilson. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They begin the drive with Johnson. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
Hey, let go.
57 to Mike.
Wentz. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things.
It's our time.
Hey, Charlie.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
56.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And Dixon has it. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
That's a real nice job right there. Working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. Now Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. Forced out to his left, and he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half, now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal.
14, front. 56, Mike, 56. Watch the slip.
To throw again is Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. No return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Screenplay, Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Go. 120.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. A final shot before half for Wentz. Looking deep downfield. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They run again with Carson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Defense, let's go. Pick it up,
Now it's Carson. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go, D. Check.
They run it with Carson, and he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. From the gun, Wilson. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The 330-pounder Al Woods brings the boom on the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there. Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball, but when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
It's just me and you.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe...
Tyler Lockett, and he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 70 yards. Well, that didn't take long, one play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Here's Wilson to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash.
Hey, stand.
To throw is Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablets.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Malcolm Jenkins, the strong safety, swoops in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're right back out there after watching the fumble go the other way. Still in control of this game, but that needs to serve as a wake-up call because they're not in the clear yet.
No, the message should be clear that fortunes can change pretty quickly when you turn the ball over. You've got to take care of it, otherwise that lead could slip away quickly.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
On 2nd and 2, Wilson. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Well, a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They'll run with Johnson. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 14-yard line.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Eagles 10.
Waiting!
Rip left,
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wentz. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Here we go. 180! 54! Sunday!
I got him.
Hey, Foxtrot! 54's Mike. 54's Mike.
Working from the gun. Wentz. Being chased out left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Give the sack to Barkevious Mingo, the former number 6 pick. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Pulled in at the 24. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
At the 21-yard line.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Operating from the gun, Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
The 42-yard line.
56 is the mic. That's right. Zebra.
Now it's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 36.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
He's coming. He learned.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. That is caught at the 7. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is up to 18 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has it.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has kept the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another, and especially when you can't stop a guy running the ball?
You know it's September in the booth, though, when you and I have both removed our coats, and those were gone in the first. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham applied the heat off the edge.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Oh, Wilson going to throw. He lets it fly for Lockett. That's going to be caught. It's a big play there for Seattle. 41 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first